Alright, so we've got about 11 minutes from top of descent. We'll be getting our information here shortly. So this is where I get nervous. I'll straighten up my chair here. Alright, so if we look at the data over here, when we hit the 8-point agent, we need to be above 15,000 feet. The plan calls for 21. We look at the FMS.
Challenger 321 contact Curitiba Center on 126.4. Have a good afternoon. Center on 126.4 Challenger 321.
Center with you at flight level 250, Challenger 321.
Challenger 321, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Okay, so if we look at our chart, when we get to the waypoint agent, we need to be at flight level 150, which is confirmed there, nothing lower than 150, and right here it says agent at flight level 150. Then waypoint CG 007, we need to be flight level 9,000 feet, max speed 210 knots. So that's got us there at 9,000. Then CG 363, 5,000 feet, and we'll be slowing for the lineup on the approach. So if all goes well, we'll breeze her right in there. So once we get close to this point, we should be getting confirmation on our approach, or arrival, I should say. Our standard terminal arrival star. So let's hope all goes well. And there's our flight path right here. The turnout and all that, the squiggly stuff down through there, that's the missed approach. So I need to practice that. So everything in red is the missed approach. So right in here is where our runway is. And that's procedures I need to practice and get familiar with. So top of descent in 8 minutes, 68 miles out. We're 164 from our destination. So we'll just wait for our radio call. I hope they give us good descents. If not, we'll ask for these flight levels. So I'm going to go ahead and set the altitude, pre-select it to 15,000. Altitude, flight level 150.
Altitude 15,000 feet.
Okay, so that's going to be pre-selected. Then we'll just go down the list there. 15, 9, 5, then 3,200. The runway looks like it's going to be about 1858, about 1,900. This when I change the altimeter or the altitude, it's slow. And if you're in a hurry to get that set, don't be, because it's going to take its time.
Challenger 321, expect the AGAN 1 Alpha arrival with the agent transition for the ILS approach to runway 06 with the CG 363 transition at Campo Grande International cleared direct agent.
Whew, how'd you like to be able to repeat all that? So we're just going to have Mr. Copilot do it.
Expect the AGAN 1 Alpha arrival with the agent transition for the ILS approach to runway 06 with the CG 363 transition cleared direct agent Challenger 321.
Okay, so that's what was expected. I was on the leg before this. I was expecting one, and it changed on me when I got there. but we handled it. I was able to pull it up in the FMS, and then I went to vectors to come on in. I descended probably a little bit sooner than I should, so I had to climb back up to clear some mountains, and once I did that, the valley was there and the airport was there, so that was my fault. But of course I couldn't capture that because at that point I landed and I got out and took a break and got the recording or the capture software installed and working and adjusted. Hopefully it'll be good enough. So when we get to top of descent, we're going to start down to 15,000 and we'll go about 2,000, 2,500 feet per minute. And we'll get a little arc, and that should bring us to our agent waypoint. And then we can kind of adjust it as needed, or they might step us down, and never know. Just hate to be left hanging up here. So if we don't see something by that top of descent there, we'll be checking in, asking for descent. So there's more to this. There's certain things that you can request and say and do, and if you like me, you don't know what's in there, so you can come in here and pop this open and see what you can actually say. Plus I printed out a list, and it's quite a book of things that can be spoken. And really the only issue I'm having is the communication between me and the co-pilot, which is a 2 and a 3. Whenever I say a 2, he hears a 3. So I got to really emphasize the 2. And of course, you do it 3 or 4 times, you get kind of frustrated, and so I really need to go in and train the numbers. And that should smooth out. And then of course I'm pressing 2 different buttons for communication, and every now and then won't be thinking and I'll hit the wrong one. And, 3.5 minutes. So what I do is I zoom in and out so I see my waypoint up ahead of me and stuff, and as I come in for approach, I try to zoom in as close as I can. That's the only means of showing me the way to go, really. And so, operating the FMS coupled with the autopilot, you got to have an understanding of what you're trying to tell the airplane to do. That's what makes it fun and challenging. It's a highly automated system. Lots of buttons up there, and every one of them does something. So we got to remember speed 210 at CG 007. So as we descend, we'll be slowing down as we come through. They'll give us an altimeter setting once we get down below 18,000. Transition there from the flight levels. I've learned a lot about flying from Captain Ed, just talking and asking questions and listening, as he explains things. It all starts making sense. I've come so far from where I was 15 years ago in flying. It's just amazing. You can see our path leads us off to the right, and then we can zoom out and see we're almost there. So that next dot right here should be agent. Because I can go in there and populate that, or I can zoom in and yeah, that's agent right there. So anytime.
Challenger 321 descend to cross agent at flight level 210, then descend via the AGAN 1 Alpha arrival with the agent transition to flight level 050 altimeter 3012 at Campo Grande International.
Will cross agent at flight level 210, then descend via the AGAN 1 Alpha arrival with the
Vertical
agent
speed.
transition to
Vertical
flight
speed
level
on.
050 altimeter 3012 Challenger 321.
Altimeter 3012.
Altimeter 3013.
Altimeter 3012.
Altimeter 3012.
Okay, so we got our clearance to descend down to 15,000 at agent, and then we go 9,000 at CG07. Sweet. .2,000 feet per minute. Back off the power a little bit. Keep us out of an overspeed. And this plane's awful powerful, so we got to stand by on the speed brake. All right, so that's not going to be enough, so we need to pitch her on down. And we better back off throttles. Still not enough. Add a little speed brake. As you can hear it. All right. Awesomeness. Alright, we're getting close. We're about 3,000 foot descent rate. That's going to put us at 15. At agent. Looking for 9,000 at 210. So we'll back our speed on back to 200, a little under 210 now. Let us come in at 200. Keep it safe. Alright, full spoiler. Aircraft's at idle. Hear the airplane really shaking and vibrating as those spoilers are up back there on the wing. This is where it gets exciting. The whole flight is all about this. Okay, we're catching up, so we'll make our descent a little shallower. There's 15. Right at agent. Turning right. 9,000. Altitude 9,000.
Altitude 9,000 feet.
Vertical speed.
Vertical speed on.
Speed to 210. Sync up our heading book. Back out our range so we see what's up there. Okay. Next one is 5,000. Here we come right here, right on the line. Perfect. Woohoo! You watching this, Captain Ed? Okay, max speed 210. We gotta get slowed down. They'll bust us. Turbulence. We can slow her down a little bit. Our descent. Alright, 216 on the speed. Slowing down. Hands on the spoiler. Spoilers down. See, we're got back to about 1,000 feet per minute, or 200 knot, and we're going to be at our 5,000 no problemo, or 9,000. All right. Coming up to 10,000 feet, landing lights coming on. So then we'll have to bring on our APU and transfer our bleeds back from the engines to the APU before we land. Awesomeness. We're still on auto throttle. Right on the line. Look at that baby. Boy, this is a good approach. Hope it stays that way. So we're aimed for the CG007 right there, at which point max speed 210, and we descend down to 5,000. And the mountains don't look real big up here. Like the last couple of landings I've had were pretty mountainous areas. Well, I did
Challenger
capture one.
321, you have traffic at 11 o'clock 5 miles at flight level 120.
Looking for traffic. Challenger 321. I do not see him. This is what flight simulation's all about right here. Once we level off, I'll pre-select the altitude for 5,000. And we've got our speed made. Altitude 5,000.
Altitude 5,000 feet.
Once we turn the corner on CG07, we're down to 5,000. And then we'll be getting onto the approach. And this is the arrival. And we've got the arrival ready to go. It's an RNAV, it's all built in.
Challenger 321 contact Campo Grande control on 119.35.
Approach on 119.35 Challenger 321.
Approach with you, flight level 9,000, Challenger 321.
Challenger 321, good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue descent via the Aegon 1 Alpha arrival. For the ILS approach to runway 06 with the CG 363 transition at Campo Grande International.
Continue descent via the Aegon 1 Alpha arrival for the ILS approach to runway 06 with the CG 363 transition Challenger 321.
I don't have, when they call out like that, I don't have it in me yet to be able to repeat or even know what I need to say. So I'll let the co-pilot do it. He's better at it than me at this point. But I'll get there. We could go a little faster. Well, no, we can't. 210 knots, so I don't want to rush this next waypoint and slam on the brakes. So once we hit the CG3, then we'll flip over to this map. And there's the CG3 right there coming in, and that's where we'll pick up the RNAV approach, or the localizer glide slope that is simulated through the avionics of the airplane. They're not real radio beacons. So at that point we're down to like 3,200 for the approach, and we should be capturing glide slope and such. Should confirm that altitude. Showing a 3,000 at 362, so from there to there we go 5 to 3. Okay. Should capture glide slope in that vicinity. We're right around 361.
Challenger 321, you have traffic at 10 o'clock 5 miles at flight level 120.
Looking for traffic, Challenger 321. Unable to see anything today. Usually I can see the contrails, but ain't happening today. Alright, here we go. Altitude.
Altitude 0 feet.
Challenger
Altitude 5,000.
321,
Altitude 5,000 feet.
cleared for the ILS approach to runway 06 with the CG 363 transition at Campo
Vertical
Grande
speed.
International.
Vertical speed on. Altimeter 3012 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 06 with the CG 363 transition Challenger 321.
Okay, down to 5. nailed. Looking good. Okay, and then we'll go 3200. So the CG363, we go down to 5,000 to 3,200. So we'll go ahead and go over to this map. We'll be coming in right here. So when we turn left, we'll drop to 3,200. We'll be established on localizer. All we lack is flaps and our bleed swap over. $1,000 to go, 1,100. Miles out. There we go. So as you can see on this map, we're about to the CG363. CG363 we pick up right there down to 3,200. Leveling off. Little airstrip down there. Altitude 3,200.
Altitude 3,200 feet.
Start down. Vertical speed.
Challenger
Vertical
321
speed on.
descend via the CG363 transition to 3,800 feet. Challenger 321 altimeter 3012 at Campo Grande International Contact Tower on 118.1. Have a good afternoon.
Altimeter 3012 tower on
Altitude
118.1. Challenger 321. Altitude 3,800 feet.
Tower with you on approach. Challenger 321.
Challenger 321, this is Campo Grande Tower on 118.1. Please repeat your request.
On approach to runway 06, Challenger 321. Tower, on approach, runway 06, Challenger 321.
Challenger 321, this is Tower, go ahead.
Turning final, Challenger 321.
Challenger 321, winds are 118 at 5 knots, cleared to land runway 06.
Cleared to land runway 06, Challenger 321. So as we make this turn, we'll go to approach mode. It's calling for 3,200, but we'll just ride it. Okay, bring the APU on. Slow down to 180. Transfer the bleeds. Said decision height 200.
Decision height 200.
Looks like get our V speeds here shortly. There we go. Runway in sight. Gear down. Aircraft. Okay, gear down, 3 green, flaps full, blades are changed over, landing lights are on. Never did get a glide slope. Alright. Missed approach 4,000. Altitude 4,000.
Altitude 4,000 feet.
Should be about
Too high.
118.
Too high.
VREF plus 5 is 118. A little high.
Approaching 06.
Winds from the right. About 2 o'clock. Looking good. Minimums 2 and 2. 117 on the speed.
Challenger 321 exit runway when able.
So only turn off to the left. Into the runway. Thrust reverse to 60. Roll it out.
3,000 feet remaining. $2,000 remaining.
You hear my toe brakes. Aha. Go to the runway map. We are down. Get back over to here by those hangars, more than likely. Military base to the right, which does show on the map. Go left. Landing lights off.
Landing lights off.
Flaps up.
Flaps going up all the way.
Clear runway. Challenger 321. So we need to go to ground. One 219. Com 1121.9.
Com 1 set to 131.9er.
Com 1121.9.
Com 1 set to 121.9er.
Ground. Request taxi to parking. Challenger 321.
Challenger 321 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha.
Straight ahead.
Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha Challenger 321.
Nice. Straight ahead. Okay, we can bring our strobies off. We just taxi with one engine. We just whoop, bump it like that. We'll park over there by that. Now we're gonna get over there. They got me blocked. He needs to pull out so I can pull in. Could go around those two right there on the left. To go in right there. He needs to diddy mile out the area. Okay. Come over here and cut between these two and go around behind him. Maybe he'll be gone by then. Or I just go on up here and park. Yeah, it'd be better. We are here. That was so cool. That was a great approach. The only thing missing was foul weather, but it's nice to be able to see what you're doing every now and then. Just kind of get comfortable. Yeah, there's lots of little Cirrus jets down here. We got Delta, American. Well, I hope you enjoyed that ride along. Flight director off.
Flight director off.
And bring traffic off. Radar. Transponder off.
Transponder is off.
It's a little tight right there, so we'll go right here. That's our spot. Next stop, Rio de Janeiro. Go watch some UFC fights. Ha 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 ha. This is so awesome. It's just like being there. Like being there for real. Alright, let's shut her down. Set the parking brake. Engines off. Leave our beacon going for the moment. Seat belts can come off. Taxi lights can come off. Nav lights off. Alright. APU still running, so we can turn off that. Hydraulics off. Turn off our fuel pumps. Turn off our air source. Nose wheel steering off. Standby instrument off. People are getting off the airplane. We can go ahead and kill the beacon. The engines are down. Okay, anti-ice can come off. Probes off. We will go to ground power, shut down the APU. APU going dead. Turn off the batteries.
November 700 Charlie. Lima cleared IFR2.
Yes, so we'll clear the flight plan. So we go to plan and we just type in any airport. I usually do like KRVS. Enter as the origin, and boom, that clears the flight plan. Let's sync up the heading bug, and we are ready for the next flight once we get some fuel. How we do on fuel anyway? Yep, wrong page. Woo! Yeah, we did good. Okay. Alright, so we are done. Slide the chair back. Emergency lights can come off. People's off the plane. We'll kill ground power. And we are done. Let's disembark the aircraft. Open the door. Woo! And there she be, ready for the next flight. Let's see. I remember I gotta close this. There we go. We can disconnect. And we are done. Hope you enjoyed that. I sure did. Have a good evening.